Drink beer, it's good for you. I'm empty-handed and I'm feeling blue, and I'm gonna drink till the day that I die.
Hello and welcome to my latest brewing video. In this video I'll be sharing my London Prime clone recipe and sharing my techniques for a successful brew of this. London Pride is a personal favourite of mine, and it's sold very successfully all over the world. This beer has been highly regarded since its launch in 1959. The beer is known for its fantastic balance of malt and hops, with that superb well-rounded flavour that gives it very high drinkability. As luck would have it, this is not such a difficult beer to brew at home with great results. So let's have a quick peek at the recipe then. This recipe is repeated in the video's YouTube description and is also available on the Grainfather recipe tools database. This is for a 25 litre batch, but you can easily convert this using the Grainfather recipe tools. Check my video on how to do this on this same channel. As you can see, this is quite a simple recipe. Do not let this simplicity fool you. This works very well indeed. We'll pick up the brew at the stage of mashing in. I have at this point added all of my grain, and I am finalising the mixing of my grain into the strike water. Special care and attention must be given at this time. This is certainly not something to rush. It is important to ensure that every grain is mixed in and wet with no grain clumps remaining. For further advice on this aspect of the brew, please pause the video now, and I've included a checklist of things that you should be looking out for the best results. So I've now got the mash in full swing now, and as you can see we have a very nice clear looking wort developing already. Always nice to see. The mash schedule for this particular brew is also very simple like the recipe. Mash in at 66 degrees C or 151 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 minutes. Then mash out as usual at 75 degrees C or 167 degrees Fahrenheit. This is also just for 10 minutes. Next up, and we have the sparge. The sparge is an area that many homebrewers neglect by speeding it along with too much water too quickly. I advocate hand sparging because I know it's worth it. The end results will give a better taste and a better efficiency. For advice on sparging, please pause the video now to see my sparge checklist. And now we move on to the boil. Please do note that all of the footage in this boil segment of this video all contain the grain basket in place. This is because I was doing an experiment during this brew where I was using the grain basket as a hop spider. Please check out the two parts of that video if you're interested. So we are at the initial start of the boil now, and before I add my first hop addition for bittering, I will clear this foam on top using the method shown with my spoon. This foam is simply protein. Depending on your grain, you will see a varying amount of this protein on top. Do not be concerned if you have more than this or less, it's all good. Now the foam is almost clear, I will add the first hop addition and start the boil timer on my Connect controller. After you add your boil additions, it's important to give them a good stir in. And this is particularly true of when you add hops. The actual thing that we're interested in with the hops is the actual oil that they contain. And if that oil was to remain at the top, it will stay at the top. If you actually stir it in, then it will amalgamate within the entire brew. And this is exactly what we're looking for here. Before I reached my 10-minute hop additions, I paused the boil timer via the Connect smartphone app. I then attached the counterflow chiller and ran boiling hot wort through it for sterilisation for a few minutes. I then waited for the brew to come back up to the boil before resuming the timer. The reason I do this is because at the end of the boil I will do a whirlpool. The drill attachment that I'm actually using for this is actually made by Grainfather themselves and is known as the Whirlpool stroke aeration paddle. I have a separate review of this product on my channel, so check it out if you haven't already. As the title of the product suggests, it's a dual purpose product. In regards to whirlpooling, which is this product's first function, it seems a lot of people are unaware of all of the benefits that are on offer from doing a whirlpool. So I'll just outline those now so that we're clear on this. Firstly, because your wort is actually being cooled down pretty fast during the whirlpool, you will notice an improvement to hop flavour and aroma. Whirlpooling not only improves cooling time, but it also produces a clearer wort by collecting the solids in the centre of the Grainfather. Also, because of this faster cooling effect, you are also enjoying a reduced chance of DMS. Another added bonus is that whirlpooling will reduce the strain on our bottom filter, allowing for a smooth and easy transfer from chilling into our fermenter. Now, I am no weakling, but I simply cannot whirlpool as quickly and as well by hand as I can using this attachment and a drill. So not only is it easier, it's also faster and more effective. If you are using a drill and an attachment, I would recommend whirlpooling for between 3 to 5 minutes for the very best of results. Once this is done and complete, I would recommend that you let the whole thing stand for 15 minutes. This will allow everything to disperse and amalgamate down at the bottom where you want it to be. After this, I go straight into the chilling phase, and I start this by chilling and recirculating into the system for a couple of minutes. I do this to let the temperatures start to drop. After this, I chill directly into my fermenter. While the wort is being transferred into my fermenter, I then clean and then sanitize the drill paddle for its next job, which is aeration. For the sake of your yeast health, aerating your wort before pitching your yeast is a total must. An aerated wort is part and parcel of providing the very best environment for your yeast to thrive in. There is a long list of benefits here, including a reduced lag time before fermentation start and a happy yeast that will do the job intended. I'm very glad to say that all went very well with this brew, and fermentation started very quickly after the yeast was pitched. It will not be long now before I'm reunited with a favourite British ale of mine. I would urge you all to try this one. It's a fantastic ale that can be enjoyed in every season. I certainly had a lot of fun brewing this and sharing it with you all. I do hope you found this video to be interesting, useful and enjoyable. So if you did like this video, then please do like it on YouTube. This really helps me out and allows the videos to be seen by a wider audience on YouTube. I have always got a lot of new videos planned for the future, so if you are interested in seeing my new content, then please subscribe for future content. If you have any questions on anything that I have covered in this video or any other video, then please do not hesitate to get in touch with me via YouTube or Facebook. I'm a member of pretty much every Grainfather Facebook group and more. Happy brewing!